next is Melanie. So Melanie is one of our guide dog clients. She's a first-time guide dog handler, and as I mentioned before, she's a very dear friend of mine, and I hope you enjoy hearing her story. It's very generous of her to be so open and honest and to share her journey with guide dogs and her journey throughout her life. So welcome Melanie and Dassault. They seven never work with dogs and children.
Thank you, Tracy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for that lovely introduction. It's always a pleasure to be here, the part of this wonderful organisation, and I feel honoured to be classed as family as well. I've been connected to Guide Dogs Victoria for some time now, but as Tracy mentioned, I'm still a relatively new first-time guide dog handler, and I'm very much still caught up in this awesome journey that I'm on. And I do love to talk about my beautiful dog, so thank you for sitting here today and listening to me as I talk to you. I'd like to share some things with you today that you may not be aware of. Things that could be going on in the background before somebody makes the decision to go to guide dog mobility. This story is not just mine, it very much belongs to others. It's also about using interdependence to establish a healthy independence. What does that mean? Okay. Let's just ponder that for a moment, and I promise I will come back to it, and it's not too heavy. But just a little word that I'd really like you to just keep in the back of your mind. So my vision loss is retinitis pigmentosa, and it was diagnosed in my early 20s, and it's been steadily declining ever since. I was also diagnosed with a hearing impairment at the age of 5, but it's remained relatively stable and is fairly well corrected with 2 hearing aids, or as Tracy mentioned earlier, her mother calls them earrings. So I think that's a nice little analogy. So my little earrings work quite well. I established contact with Guide Dogs Victoria about 6.5 years ago when I was looking to update my white cane training skills, which I did through their incredible orientation, mobility and adaptive technology programs. During this time, my vision underwent quite a rapid and very significant decline, and I was confronted with the reality for the first time that this condition is most likely going to lead to complete blindness in me, which is something that I didn't expect, and I really struggled to accept that. So it was recommended that perhaps now was the time to consider guide dog mobility. Now that was a really interesting thing, because for many years I had already had people saying to me, well, what's with the cane? Why don't you have a dog? And I think it was especially given my background. So I had grown up on a farm, I'd been around working dogs all my life. I was a trained veterinary nurse working in animal welfare. So it seems like a natural fit, right? But really it wasn't that straightforward for me. I had so many things that I had to process in my own mind before I got there. And among those many things, there was and still is, and Karen mentioned this before when she mentioned her beautiful willow, a very overwhelming fear of loss. Our beautiful dogs are just not with us long enough, and end of life is painful. But I already had a really high level of independence with my cane. So what was a dog going to give me, besides a lot of pain at the end, that the cane didn't already? And I found myself asking, well, could I actually be taking a dog away from someone who needs it more than me at this point in time? a pretty heavy thing to think about. And then there was the impact on my family. In particular, my Dr. Dolittle husband. But he's a story for another day. There's lots of stories around. And then there was an overwhelming sense of responsibility towards the organisation, and I did have a choice, but towards the organisation that I would be getting my guide dog from. I was acutely aware that every time I stepped out the door, my dog and I would be representing that organisation. Was I up for that? I knew the dog would be. What about me? So as you can see, there was so much. I didn't want to go into this life-changing decision in a half-thought-out way. I'm a bit of an overthinker. Yeah, you probably worked that out by now. But it was a lot, and I knew it was going to take many conversations for me to get it straight. And guide dogs were incredibly patient with me during that time. But there was also a pretty significant light bulb moment too. And that was when I found myself standing on a beach in front of an apartment block where I was staying on holidays before I'd made the decision to go to guide dog mobility. I'd taken myself off for a walk on the beach, as I had many times over many years before, turned around, came back, looked up, I could see the apartment block, glistening white, beautiful blue sky background, but I could not for the life of me find the path that would take me off the beach, through the gate, into the apartment ground. I was stuck. I had taken my cane with me, and it was very useful on the other side of the gate to stop me falling in the pool, but it wasn't going to get me to the gate. You see, with our canes, we need a solid surface to tap our cane up against to orientate ourselves. Sandy beach just wasn't going to cut it. And that was when it struck me for the first time the true differences between the two types of mobility that we use when we have low vision. So I knew the theory. A theory is that our canes are known as obstacle finders. You need to locate things with your cane before you can go around them. Whereas the dogs are known as obstacle avoiders. So they will go around an obstacle half the time without you even knowing it. And then it dawned on me that, hang on a minute, as Justin just mentioned earlier, these dogs are actually very good finders. I knew that a well-trained guide dog can help me to find a seat, to find a door, to find a gate. Ding, 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 I was looking for a gate. So yeah, it was a real light bulb moment. And once I realised that, and I thought, yeah, okay, I need a dog. And I made up my mind, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to go down this track, and I'm going to set myself a goal. I'm going to come back to this destination that I love so much with my guide dog, and we're going to find our way off this beach. And I did, it happened. I've been matched with my beautiful dog for about 9 months, and I looked down at her one day and I said, you want to go on a holiday? And of course she said yes. So we hopped on a plane. Now I think there will be a photo popped up on the screen. Okay. And just a little bit of a photo description is that shows my dog and I on the aeroplane, and that's actually from our recent trip, not from that first trip. But yeah, so that's that. So once we got to this destination, we pretty much went straight down to the beach, and it just took me a few minutes to teach her to target that particular gate. So to teach a dog to target something just means that when you ask them to find it, they can find it for you. So off we went for our little walk. We didn't go too far. I was pretty keen to check this out. Turned around, went back, and I look up, and yep, I can see the apartment block. It's glistening white, blue sky background. Can't see that path, can't see that gate. So I said to her, okay, find the gate. And off she went, and she is barreling up the beach. I'm parachuting behind her. We come to a screeching halt. I look down, and her nose planted firmly on the gate. The front half of her stock still, absolutely serious. The back half of her was wriggling furiously. Her tail was going down my mouth. Her back feet were dancing. Whoops, sand flying everywhere. And you know, I looked down at her, and overwhelming feelings of relief, gratitude, joy. It was all there, you know, and I just looked at it, yeah, this is the right thing. We've done the right thing. And I think there'll be another photo flashed up now which will show my dog and I on the Concord beach. I think I'm wearing a burgundy shirt, and she's next to me and we've got a big smile on it, but we conquered it. We found that damn gate, we got out. So yeah, so that was so it's been now 3.5 years since I've transitioned from using a white cane to this wonderful, tangible partnership that I have with my thinking teammates. So I think now might be a good moment to actually formally introduce her. So I'm going to just bring her out again, and if everyone wants to stand up and have a look at her, you can. I'll just pop her up. I'll wake her up first. Dixie, this way. Come on, there we go. Okay. So here she is. Got no mic. Hope you can hear me. She had a big shake, and she has just finished molting, so there shouldn't be too much hair flying around. She is a golden coloured Labrador cross retriever, and she's quite an interesting colour apparently. I'm just going to move back again. Come on, Jess. Apparently she's lots of different shades of gold. She's got quite a pretty face, and she gets told all the time that she's beautiful. And she really knows that word. Hop her down again. Down, good girl. Okay, hop down. There we go. Yeah, look at Karen. She'll tell you what to do. Okay. All right. Okay. So yes, so her name is Dassault, and I know we all think our dogs are pretty special, but I can officially boast that Dassault here is indeed very special, with a really important connection to Guide Dogs Victoria. You see, Des was born on the 17th of March 2017. Yes, she's just had a birthday. She's just turned 5. 2017 was the 60th anniversary year for Guide Dogs Victoria. And Des was the 6-week-old puppy that was chosen to be named for and presented to our Victorian Governor, Linda Dassault, at a special celebration ceremony at Government House that year. And the Governor is a patron for Guide Dogs Victoria. So there we go. She's a special dog and no one can argue with that. So let me take you back to that funny little word that I mentioned before. Interdependence. What is it? Well, basically, all it is what most of us do naturally as social creatures. People need people. Michael Hingson refers to this term several times in his wonderful book, Thunderdog. For those of you who are not aware of the book, Michael is blind. He and his beautiful guide dog, Roselle, were in the World Trade Center on the 11th of September 2001. They got out by walking down 78 flights of stairs together. And Michael describes interdependence beautifully as teamwork and trust, which those two displayed in immeasurable proportion on that horrible day. So while Roselle was able to guide Michael down those steps, Michael in turn was able to help Roselle by remaining calm and giving her clear instructions the whole way down. Michael also shared a very precious and limited supply of water with his dog Roselle. So that is classic interdependence. They were helping each other out. Desi and I are also a good example of interdependence, but thankfully a lot less dramatic. The way I like to look at it with us is that I need her to guide me and keep me safe. She needs me to look after her and keep her safe. But in order for us to come together, we needed Guide Dogs Victoria. And we needed you. It's a 4-way interdependence. You're going to hear from Isabel shortly, and she has a beautiful presentation. I'd like you to keep that little word, interdependence, in mind as you listen to Isabel. And the reason for that is that my husband Richard and I had a conversation with Isabel and Bill just a year before Bill passed away. And it was that conversation that the four of us had which set me firmly on this path that I am so proud to be on right now. So just keep that little word in mind. But what about being independent? Isn't it better to be independent? You know, this is the status that is so highly valued in today's society, isn't it? Especially for women. But let's just think about it for a minute. Just humour me. Just think about it. What does it really mean to be independent? When you actually really look at it, to be truly, really, truly, truly independent means that you need to go it completely alone, all by yourself, nobody else. And that can be a really lonely space. And I know that because I was there for a long, long time. You see, despite, or perhaps because of, my challenges, I've always been that person that just jolly well got on and got things done. I didn't have time to wait around for people to help me. Sure, I made a mess of a lot of things and I looked pretty ungainly, but you know, I just soldiered on and did it. But it was wearing me down without me even realising it until Deso came into my life. All of a sudden, I've got this pesky little teammate who's there right beside me all the time. She wasn't going anywhere. I was forced to share all my decision making with her, and gradually it dawned on me as to how much easier it actually was. This remarkable dog has taught me the true value of trust, teamwork, and the joy of sharing. So without her and your support behind the incredible team at Guide Dogs Victoria, I would never have had the confidence to open myself up to the joy of sharing. And then to do what I'm doing today, stand up here and on-share the benefits of embracing the support of others to establish a much healthier, happier state of interdependence. So, you know, I absolutely cannot imagine my life without this beautiful dog by my side and the support of Guide Dogs Victoria. I get to live in the moment every day thanks to her and thanks to you. Without your support, these remarkable dogs wouldn't be able to do what they do so well, and that's to enhance the lives of so many people in so many ways. So we hope that you can walk away today secure in the knowledge that your support is so highly valued, and that you can and you do make a difference. So from Des and I, and on behalf of the wonderful, beautiful Tracy, all her team and everyone at Guide Dog Victoria and the remarkable Justin, we all say thank you.